and not a specific tourism information. Therefore, we have to start from almost from zero. So we have formed, out of the National Chamber of Tourism, we decided to approach the government institutions that had to do with tourism and ask them to please help us form a group that would be able to form and install the observatory. With that, we got people like the Ministry of Tourism, the National Controller, the mayors of the city, the private entities doing work, educational work, universities, members of the tourism industry, and other groups that had to do with tourism. We got them all together, and we formed our a group to work on the making of an observatory in Panama. As you know, Panama is a very small country. We decided to form our tourist observatory in Destination Panama, which covers the area where the canal is and the city of Panama and the city of Colón are. When you get to Panama, you will first see our brand new airport. When you come in, then you can follow up in 10 minutes and be on the ruins of the old city that will be 500 years old this January. And in the back, you find the Panama City, which is a very modern city full of skyscraper. These ruins are, like I said, 500 years old. These are the very first city in the Pacific Ocean that was built by the Spaniards and then destroyed by the pirates. The entrance of the city of Panama, where you can, that's the Pacific Ocean, and that's the statue to Balboa, the discoverer of the ocean, and the city on the background with all the skyscrapers, hotels, banks, etc. Here we have the city of Panama and the old city of Panama, which is one of our most important touristic areas, which is called Casco Viejo, and is the second most visited area after the Panama Canal. This here is where we start. We have taken the city of Panama as an island here at only 12 minutes in a boat from Panama City, named Taboga, which are beautiful beaches and very good fishing around. And we start here and we come to the ruins of the old city. We come to the city itself and go through all the area of the canal to Fort of San Lorenzo and Fort of Portobelo and come back into the city. This is the area we're going to be monitoring now when we start at. Here in this area we have more than 20 different tourist products. We have Taboga Island, which I talked before. It's very beautiful and very close to the city. It makes it very easy for a person that is staying one day in the morning to take the boat, spend a day on the beach, and come back in the afternoon to take the plane. Everything is very close. We have water sports, scientific. We have all the observatories in the world, like Smithsonian, a lot of them are doing scientific in our tropical forests. We have cultural. We have museums. This is one of the, it's the only museum built by Gehring, a very recognized architect in Latin America, and is the only one existing. We have theaters and areas that were used to be military structures from the US when they had the canal, when they were running the canal. They have been now turned into universities. These are an international university where there is a lot of investigation done in these areas. We have cruisings, we have 2 home ports. This is our new convention center, built up for 15,000 people. That's a big convention. The city in the back. Then you have gastronomy, the city. We have the old city, and with a lot of the canal, all of these I'm talking about is no more than half an hour from the city. From the hotel you will be staying in the city, you can find all of these places. The old canal, or the old set of locks, and then on the left you see the new set of locks, which are, there's a big difference in the size of ships that can go by from one to the other. We have a lot of adventure, forest, tropical forest. You can spend a day with the original Indians, stay with them, eat with them, sleep with them, dance with them, and do communitary work or rural communitary, archaeological, health and wellness, just relaxing after your heavy day of tourism, and finish your day on the forts of San Lorenzo and Portobello, which were the ones that protected the city from the pirates. They couldn't do it. The pirates won. And end up at the city, at the big hotels, and extraordinary nightlife. This is what Panama has, but we have not measured it. We are not measuring it. And what you can measure, you can manage. So the interest of we, the Chamber of Tourism in Panama, is to be able to measure all of the opportunities we have with our tourism. 80% of the investment in tourist installations is in the city of Panama, here, what I have shown you. 80% of the touristical products, eco-touristics, resorts, etc., are outside of the country, are outside of this area. But it's 80-20, 20% in the city and 80% on the outskirts of the city, the tourist attractions. But the investment is 80% in the city and 20% on the outskirts. And with information, we want to make a change to that, to change it so that it's a level playing in the city. And the profits that can come from tourists can be socially reverted to everybody.